This is my room. That's my Janet Jackson poster, because I love that one.
Just a little insert, because the video is ironic. As a kid, I always wondered how Janet Jackson and Michael Jackson were always in the talks when it comes to inspirational figures in music. Of course, we know why Michael is in the talks. But Janet, I always figured it was because she's Michael's sister, and she's the closest any of the siblings have come to having fame within music outside of being part of the Jackson family. But as I grew older, I found it interesting how so many artists would say that their inspiration in music was Janet Jackson.
What woman that wants to be a singer or performer wasn't influenced by her? She's incredible.
Janet Jackson, huge influence.
So much so. I love her. The other night, actually, me and the dancers, we got a thing of all of her videos, and we watched all of them. There was like a lot of them that I hadn't even seen, like Control, and after even seeing that, it totally inspired me even more. But I went to her show, and after seeing her perform, she just, she's amazing.
You saw the Velvet Rope tour?
Yeah, she's really, really good. And ever since I was a little girl, I've totally looked up to her. And when I saw her videos when I was younger, the ones I did see, it just made me so hungry for what I'm doing now.
Quincy Jones or
Janet.
She
was so amazing last night.
Janet is like her backgrounds. Like if you don't like people that are singers, they understand. Like her backgrounds are some of the best backgrounds, some of the best harmonies, some of the best melodies I've ever heard.
This can't be good. This can't be. This can't be. This can't be. This can't be.
And again, I'm like, Janet. If Janet is so good, if she's such a monumental figure in music, how come I've never heard her music? MTV would regularly play old throwbacks, VH1 would have behind the scene music, and we all know they used to do music countdowns for the most popular songs. Janet is literally never in these conversations in the media, but word of mouth says Janet is really that girl. Until I found out. Until I was doing my own research and realized that Janet's legacy has been hindered, tarnished, and borderline destroyed because of one unfortunate Super Bowl performance. What was supposed to be a family-friendly, sexy performance turned into one of the most memorable moments in pop history. Janet is on the stage, wearing the worst outfit ever. She's dancing, gyrating. Justin comes and she's dropping it low on Justin. Then the last lyric of the song plays. Gonna have you naked by the end of the song? Justin reaches over, smack rips off her garment, revealing her breast. But that breast has nipple jewelry on it, and here is the beginning of Nipplegate. The biggest question about this performance is really whether or not this was an accident. This was a highly anticipated performance. Around this time, Janet was considered a trend-setting pop star. Like her brother, she was an amazing performer with revolutionary albums, so her performance was a huge deal. There was a lot of whispers about what was in store for the night. The rumors were that Jessica Simpson, Diddy, Nelly, and Kid Rock would appear as guest performers, but a dancer unexpectedly led the charge to the backlash after. A quote from one of Janet's choreographers teased that there was some shocking moments to come from this performance. What that meant at the time, nobody knew, until the performance, when the world was indeed shocked. Not necessarily by the Nipplegate fiasco, but the damage control needed to be done. At first, the halftime show was supposed to have a cheeky little gimmick, a tearaway skirt moment, but the NFL, MTV, and CBS all voted against it, wanting to play it safe. Fast forward to game day, things changed. A different reveal was added in. Janet herself later explained that the moment just went wrong, but to the audience, it looked intentional. Why are you wearing nipple jewelry, aka a nipple cover? You got your whole titty flopping out but the nipple. So now people are looking at Janet like, did something really go wrong? But more so, is it like a case of you not expecting the backlash? Janet's longtime stylist, Wayne Lucas, stepped in to clear up one of the biggest questions people had. If it was an accident, why was she wearing a pasty? His answer was simple. Janet wore pasty shields and piercings every single day. It wasn't a little last-minute plan or stage prop. In fact, according to Lucas, he had picked up the very shield just a couple of days earlier in Houston. To him, it was a normal ordeal. Where things went wrong was, the stage design was supposed to protect her. The moment Justin ripped her top, the lights were meant to cut to black. Janet was supposed to clutch her chest, fireworks were supposed to go off. Instead, MTV left the lights on and the camera caught it. Janet was embarrassed. Utterly embarrassed, and she looked genuinely shocked about what happened. At first, a lot of people did not catch it. A lot of people were confused about what was happening. When Nipplegate happened, it was so quick that it was just easy to miss.
Like Janet's Superbowl flat.
Oh, I can't speak for my sister, but
Just tell me how you responded as a brother and as a viewer.
with love. Actually, I was looking right at it and I didn't see it. I was at a friend of mine's house in La Jolla, Ron Burkle, and in a movie theater, it was huge on the screen. I didn't even see it. So I heard all this controversy the next day. I said, that's not true. I saw none of it. So.
The people who did catch it, it was the ones who were glued to the screens or people who had TiVo, which is DVR. So it was for the people who were able to record the performance from home. The executives at MTV were congratulating each other. The show had gone off without a hitch, or so they thought. But when the phone started buzzing, first call, then they got a second call. Then they had a third call. And then next thing you know, they were flooded with phone calls. Did you see that? Did you see it? Reporters were demanding answers and the mood shifted instantly. Man, the people over at CBS, they were livid. Not only had millions of viewers just witnessed something that was not supposed to happen, but CBS was also suspicious. After all, MTV had teased in the press release that the halftime show was gonna include shocking moments. To them, this did not look like a mistake. What started as a celebration quickly turned into crisis mode. Within minutes, the infamous moment had gone from a wardrobe malfunction to the center of one of the biggest broadcasting controversies of all time. In the hours after the performance, the reactions from Janet and Justin couldn't have been more different. Justin played it off, cracking jokes in interviews, saying things like, "I love giving y'all something to talk about." But behind the scenes, Janet's experience was far from playful. She disappeared from the view immediately after the show, shaken and embarrassed. According to reports, she cried as the stage manager wrapped a blanket around her. When the backlash began, Justin issued a statement. He called it a wardrobe malfunction, apologized if anyone was offended, and insisted it was not intentional. But by then, the damage was done. The media had their story, and Janet would soon bear the brunt of the fallout. And the fallout wasn't just about headlines. It hit Viacom, the parent company of CBS and MTV, straight in the wallet. The FCC slapped them both with a record fine up to $500,000, the highest ever for a single broadcast at the time. Every one of Viacom's 20 TV stations that aired the halftime show was forced to pay the maximum penalty. The complaints were pouring in, more than 500,000 from outraged viewers. It instantly became a federal case, with the government treating a split-second slip as a national scandal. MTV spoke out and said, "The tearing of Janet's costume was unrehearsed, unplanned, and completely unintentional, and was inconsistent with the assurances we had about the content of the performance. MTV regrets this incident occurred, and we apologize to anyone who was offended by it." Janet had to speak out. In a video statement, she admitted that the decision to include a costume reveal had only been made after final rehearsals. She was quick to defend MTV, making it clear that they had no knowledge of what was planned.
The decision to change the Super Bowl performance was actually made after the final rehearsal. MTV, CBS, the NFL had no knowledge of this whatsoever, and unfortunately the whole thing went wrong in the end. I am really sorry if I offended anyone, that was truly not my intention.
Janet's costume tailor, Marcelo Garzon, confirmed that Janet brought him the leather outfit in Houston and asked for specific alterations. He also admitted that he signed an NDA with Janet and he couldn't be specific with the details. During that Super Bowl week in Houston, Janet's stylist, Wayne Lucas, walked into a local piercing and metal shop called Torian. The owner, Daly, remembers it well. Lucas introduced himself saying he was looking for nipple jewelry for Janet. After browsing, he chose the nipple shield, the one that Janet wore. And before he left, Lucas hinted at what was coming. He told Daly to watch the halftime show, that there's going to be a surprise at the end. So years later, Wayne does an interview where he called Janet's outfit the most functioning wardrobe in history when asked if it was a malfunction.
It's almost 20 years and we still don't know the answer. Was this an accident?
I want to say the Michael Jackson
word. Was it a
word.
malfunction?
I want to say the word.
Was it? You can't say the word.
You
just have to tell me what the true story was behind the fabric and the wardrobe malfunction and the whole thing. What was the real story?
Well, the real story is it was the most functioning wardrobe I've ever done. You know, I get paid a lot of money for years and years to be a stylist, and I get hired. I'm a work for hire. I do my job. I make things succeed. I'm going to let Janet tell her story about the wardrobe malfunction. I don't know what she's going to speak about, but I call it the most functioning wardrobe in history. And I did what I was supposed to do. I did my job. I do think that MTV and the producers were supposed to cut to the lights sooner. It was supposed to go black and then have fireworks. There's a whole mess around this that I haven't brought up yet.
So we can all play the blame game all we want, but regardless if it was an accident or a stint gone wrong, there was still a lot of consequences for what happened. Did Justin do the best job at damage control? Not necessarily, even though Janet was the one to tell him to lay low and stay quiet.
Featured in Janet's 4-hour Lifetime and A&E documentary, she revealed she had advised Justin to stay silent at the time because she was already bearing the brunt of the backlash.
We talked once, and he said, I don't know if I should come out and make a statement and this and that, or say something, have something to say. And I said, listen, I don't want any drama for you. They're aiming all of this at me. So I said, if I were you, I wouldn't say anything.
So when Justin did speak out, a lot of people didn't like his response because it felt like it was self-serving.
Justin speaks out with a candid account of how he was surprised and betrayed.
It didn't fly in to Houston until the day of the Super Bowl. Got a call prior to the show from Janet, her choreographer, saying that they wanted to do a costume reveal. Now I was under the impression that what was going to be revealed in the costume reveal was a red brassiere, a bustier, forgive me. And, got in, didn't really have time to rehearse it, got to the field, went on stage, was in the moment, and when what happened, I was completely shocked and appalled, and all I could say was, oh my God. I immediately looked at her. They brought a towel up onto the stage. I immediately covered her up. I was completely embarrassed, and just walked off the stage as quick as I could. And later that night, I was informed that they wanted me to make a statement about it, and so I did. At the time, I explained what I knew, and now it's turned into an unfortunate, incredibly huge situation.
Justin was emphatic the idea was not his.
Especially coming off such a great year. 2003 was remarkable for me, and I felt like I made a lot of steps with my music, and I did a lot of good things. And like I said, I don't want to be involved in a stunt. That's not my style. I don't have any reason to do this. I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated at the whole situation. I'm frustrated that my character is being questioned. I don't feel like I need publicity like this. And I wouldn't want to be involved with a stunt, especially something of this magnitude.
Now Janet, on the other hand, was losing everything. Behind the scenes, CBS chief Les Mooves was furious over the scandal, and his anger was directed solely at Janet. He didn't buy the idea that the wardrobe slip was an accident. In his mind, it was a stunt, and he was especially outraged because he felt like Janet didn't apologize enough. Both Janet and Justin were initially banned from the 2004 Grammys, but after Justin offered a tearful apology, Mooves changed his mind. Janet, on the other hand, never got the same grace. She apologized, but to Mooves, she didn't apologize enough, and Janet just wasn't willing to bend the knee. According to those close to him, Mooves went as far as to blacklisting her. He ordered Viacom radio stations and TV networks like VH1 and MTV to stop supporting her music, and the timing couldn't have been worse. Her album Demeter Joe came out a month later, and the lack of promotion crushed its momentum. Which is crazy because it's actually a great album. Janet's invitation from the Grammys was quietly pulled, and her music career took a blow. 1 month later, she released her 8th studio album, Demeter Joe. Normally, Janet was unstoppable. Her previous 5 albums all had debuted at #1. Her 2001 album, All For You, sold 600,000 copies its first week. But Demeter Joe? It sold 381,000 and entered the charts at #2. But those numbers back then was a sharp decline. Those numbers now, oh, that's considered a miracle. The album went platinum in the US, but none of its 4 singles broke the top 40. And as the years rolled on, her sales continued to slip. Meanwhile, Justin Timberlake's career only climbed higher. He agreed to issue an on-air apology, then not only showed up to the Grammys, but performed and walked away with 2 Grammys. The contrast was clear. Janet faced blacklisting, while Justin walked away virtually untouched.
Listen, I know it's been a rough week on everybody, and what occurred was unintentional, completely regrettable, and I apologize if you guys are offended. This has been a dream of mine.
But on the brighter side, Janet's titty is why YouTube was created and why I have a job. Either way, Janet finally broke her silence on one of the biggest stages possible, Oprah's couch. Oprah made it clear from the start, this will be the first and the last time Janet ever talks about what happened that day. And then came the biggest question, was it planned? And Janet didn't hesitate to answer, admitting she regretted apologizing in the immediate aftermath. To her, the apology made it seem like she was genuinely guilty of something. But in her words, it had been nothing more than an accident.
Well, 24 hours after that Super Bowl, Janet issued an apology. And I had read in another magazine that you regret making that apology. Is that true? Why?
It was an accident. And management that I had at the time, they thought it was important that I did, you know, with the project coming out. And I had said, actually, before I sat down to record the apology, that I had said to them,
what are you apologizing
for?
for?
Why am I apologizing for an accident?
Well, you did say in the apology you apologized for anybody who might have been offended.
Right, and they wanted me to say that, so I did. They thought it was best that I do, so I did.
Do you think in any way that Justin Timberlake left you hanging out there? I am speaking to Miss Jackson. Do you?
Well, all the emphasis was put on me, not on Justin. And Justin, we were friends. And not that we aren't now, we haven't spoken, but I consider him a friend, and I'm very loyal, and friendship is very important to me.
This completely derailed Janet's music career for the next 10 years. Luckily, Janet can act, and she's been in Tyler Perry movies and The Nutty Professor. And remember, longevity in the music industry, your fan base matters. Her fan base is what's been keeping her music and legacy alive. The media didn't need to, because even other artists were inspired from her. So yes, she faced setbacks, but her legacy is cemented. As for Justin, the black community has a love-hate relationship with him. He has spoken out about the situation more than once.
That the Super Bowl incident was one of the bigger mistakes, I think was the word you used.
The Super Bowl incident. You kind of have to have a sense of humor about all of this, because like you said, everybody takes this so seriously.
Well,
it's not that serious.
When you
the Middle East situation, that's serious.
That's serious. It's, yeah,
you know,
scary serious. Yeah. Was it the performance, or was it the aftermath of the Super Bowl that was the mistake?
I mean, I guess it was a little bit of both. I think, in my honest, opinion now, it was more the aftermath from me. And there could have been ways that I could have gone about it.
And each time, people felt like he could have said more. He could have taken up for Janet more. He could have used his privilege to really take some of the heat off of Janet. Cause can you imagine if a black R&B singer accidentally ripped off a patch off of someone like Britney Spears? Would it have been Britney's fault? Who was gonna be the villain? And that's how people see it. He simply could have been more on the defense. But again, Janet was the one who told him not to really speak about it. So when it comes to unraveling this situation, it depends on how you view the situation. But you guys let me know what you think about it down below, and make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. Toodles.